Welcome back to Trend Guards. Let's get right into it. Today's explainer covers the August 13, 2026 general availability launch of DeepSeek V4-Pro. As always, our mission here is accuracy above all else. So we are strictly analyzing the verified features, the benchmark realities, and that highly disruptive market pricing, all pulled directly from official documentation and validated reports. If you're building with AI right now, you really need to know exactly what just changed. Let's kick things off with the single most important confirmed fact for all you developers and CTOs tuning in. DeepSeek V4-Pro is officially in general availability today, and it is dropping its output price to an astonishingly low 87 cents per million tokens. Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't some rumor, and it's not a closed preview. This is live on their platform right now. And get this, according to DeepSeek's official API documentation and confirmed by businessanalytics.substack.com, this is not just some temporary promotion. This is a permanent 75% price reduction. They are effectively drawing a massive line in the sand for the enterprise AI pricing wars. So let's look at the engine that's actually making this possible. So to understand exactly how this model achieves such a massive scale without just completely ballooning the latency, we have to look at the official model card. DeepSeek V4-Pro 0813 utilizes a sparse mixture of experts, or MOE, architecture. What this means is that despite having 1.6 trillion total parameters under the hood, only a very specific subset of them is activated for any given inference. This ensures high computational efficiency. Basically, it can leverage that massive size while remaining dramatically more efficient on a per-request basis compared to those standard dense models. Building right on top of that efficiency is its sheer memory capacity. Based on DeepSeek's official data, that 1 million token context window fits roughly 750,000 words right into active memory. In practical, real-world terms, this means you can ingest entire enterprise code bases or just massive medical data sets in a single prompt. It fundamentally eliminates the need for complex chunking or setting up those heavy retrieval-augmented generation pipelines. Now, examining the major upgrades validated for actual production workflows, Quartz reports that this GA release focuses really heavily on autonomous capabilities. This model is designed to reliably plan and execute multi-step workflows, use complex tools like APIs and web search, and, crucially, detect failures so it can gracefully recover from errors without human intervention. It's built from the ground up to maintain state across long-horizon tasks. And to manage the costs across those autonomous workflows, DeepSeek introduced something called flexible reasoning effort. This essentially allows developers to dial the reasoning tokens up or down on a per-request basis. You can use low for simple classification or fast queries, bump it to high for daily agent workflows and data analysis, or crank it all the way to max for complex bugs and architectural decisions. It ensures you're only paying for maximum intelligence when the task actually requires it. This is a huge move right here. DeepSeek is natively integrating into existing developer workflows to capture market share directly away from OpenAI. According to their API docs and GitHub proxy repositories, developers can use a simple one-click setup to completely swap out GPT-5.6 for V4-Pro and Codex using the Responses API. You literally just open your configuration file, update the backend model, and deploy immediately. Zero code changes required. You maintain complete compatibility while absolutely slashing those backend costs. Of course, we have to compare these bold claims against verified data, and when we do, we see a pretty stark pricing reality. Visualizing the data sourced directly from Facebook and DeepSeek, V4-Pro costs just 87 cents per million output tokens. Compare that to $25 for Anthropic's Claude Opus 5 and $30 for OpenAI's GPT-5.6 Ultra. That is nearly a 9-to-1 ratio. And I think this brilliantly illustrates the disruption going on right now. According to Floativity, DeepSeek V4-Pro actually beats Claude 9 93.5% to 88.8% on Live Code Bench, despite costing just a tiny fraction of the price. It is quite literally delivering frontier-tier coding performance for pennies. But look, at Trend Guards, our primary focus is always accuracy. And that means we absolutely must report on its verified limitations too. Independent tests show V4-Pro actually trailing the frontier models on SVE Bench Pro, scoring around 55% compared to the 60 to 65% range of Claude Opus and GPT-5.5. On GPQA Diamond, it scores 90.1%, which is slightly trailing GPT-5.5's 93.6%. Plus, users on X are reporting dynamic pricing spikes of anywhere from 3x to 12x during high API demand. So, while the base rates are incredibly low, that peak API congestion will definitely impact your actual operating costs. So, for all you developers currently planning out your migration strategy, the rollout here is comprehensively distributed. Widespread availability is the name of the game. It's accessible right now via expert mode on the DeepSeek web app, through their completely unchanged direct API endpoints, via third-party routing like OpenRouter, or, if you prefer, by downloading the open waste to run entirely on your own hardware. You really have total flexibility on exactly how you want to deploy this. Which leaves us with a truly defining question for the industry as a whole. With DeepSeek V4-Pro delivering verified frontier-tier performance for just 87 cents, will OpenAI and Anthropic be forced to drastically slash their enterprise pricing in response? This massive 9-to-1 price disparity, coupled with the rise of the open-weight agent era, might just inevitably force the frontier labs into a full-scale pricing war. Definitely consider how this shifts your own deployment budgets moving forward. Thank you so much for joining this explainer. Stay focused on the facts, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.